Morning all. Back here once again to play with some more outboards. So, just thought I'd cover a couple things that might be helpful to some. So I ripped apart a lower unit on a 15, 9.9 is the same, Johnson. Right there, 1992 according to the VIN. Beauty little motor, electric start, tiller. This thing's going to be awesome. So I started with the cleaning already, so I'll cover that, why not. So, not much room in here. Pretty tight. But when you remove the air intake, the plastic air intake box that sits here, which is just 4 bolts on the top and then 2 screws in here, it gives you a lot more room. So I'd highly recommend doing that, and you can't mess up taking it off and putting it on. So once that was off, it gave me a pretty good idea of what we were working with, and it's a lot better than it was yesterday when I started this. I should have took a before and after, but down in here kind of gives you a little idea. And you know what? It's just your typical, why the heck would I clean the inside of an outboard motor? And you know what? I'm like that with cars, other stuff I don't care about, but I like outboards for some reason. So anyways, as far as cleaners go, a lot of people use this, use that, blah, blah, blah. And oh, sure, there's great ones, but I'm cheap. So what I do, I make my own. This goes back to my years detailing boats. So Dawn dish soap is actually a fantastic borderline degreaser. And if you mix in something to spike it, I'll sometimes hit it with a bit of bleach or a bit of laundry detergent. But I find for really stubborn stuff, I just hit it with palm olive. Pine Sol. Hit it with Pine Sol. So I just mix up maybe, I don't know, a whiskey shot of each in here and then fill it with water. And then just blast it. Try not to get any in the carburetor, but I'm probably going to have to clean it anyway. So and you can see it working the black spots there. And then a really handy tool for this is a simple little toothbrush. So it'll get you in those nooks and crannies that prove to be stubborn. And with the cost of this being in the penny range, you can be very, very liberal with blasting it. So I highly recommend that. Again, try to not get any in the intake of the carb, but I guess I should stuff that with something, but whatever. So yeah, so just give her a little scrubby dubby. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to make you watch me clean this, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what it could do. So not bad. So if you just keep blasting that, there's enough drain holes in the base that most of it will come out. If you want to put a blower or a fan or something on when you're done, you can, but that's entirely up to you. So other than that, this is a relatively complete, beautiful little motor. I'm going to tidy up the wiring going to the battery. It's a little, chewed up. And the cowling itself, I'm going to put a new decal kit on it. And I was going to see if this would buff, but I'm pretty sure I know what that is. That's been a recoat of paint, and they either didn't get enough on, or there was surface contaminants or whatever. But no big deal. I can blast that with some glass white, and it'll come up tidy as heck. So yeah. But yeah, the original insulation's still in there, all that stuff. So I'll do a before and after of it. Anyway, so there's some cheap cleaners for you. That also works on the mid casing and the lower. So we'll get to the lower. Oh, actually, another little thing. So everybody says, oh, 9.9s and 15s are the same. Well, I'm going to prove it to you. So you saw the 15 cowling on. So here's my 9.9 cowling. Oh, I did it backwards. Get this down. Well, whatever. It does latch. Anyways, there you go. 15 horse Johnny Rude that says it's a 9.9. So for any of you that, need to use a 9.9 but want the power of a 15, you can just rebadge what you have or just pick up a 9.9 cowling as a spare. And as you can see, that's actually a pretty good match on the color. Kind of funny. So, all right. onto the lower. So this is the lower that came with it, right here, and it was nice and funky from being submerged all summer. That's fine. So cleaned it up yesterday, and I decided, I had a feeling that there was a seal leak because there was gear oil in places where there shouldn't be. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to pull this carrier bearing. And I'm the kind of person, I need to do something before I fully grasp why parts are called what they're called and what they do and how they relate to other things. So maybe you are too. So what I did was I'm actually just going to put this lower on. I'm going to paint it white, put it on. The only thing I have to swap out is the drive shaft because this is actually a long shaft. So rather than buy a seal kit for this, I know the seals are good on this, and I'll show you how I know that after. I'm just going to swap them and then maybe reseal this one, you know, in the winter or something, make it a long shaft, and there you go. So this is the first time I've actually pulled apart a lower unit that was complete. Anytime I've got junk ones, they've been missing stuff, or, you know, this been removed, that been removed. So yesterday, this was attached as well as the propeller. And, you know, guys are always saying to me about fishing line in the prop seal and this and that. And until you see it, you're like, well, it's fishing line. I mean, can this lower unit not take that? But, you know, I listened, but I was always watching for fishing line. When I pulled the prop off, look at that. Now, when I pulled it, it was kind of closer to where the prop shaft mounts. You can see a bit of the gear oil in there. So I just kind of left it on to do this video. But that fishing line did a number in here. The bearing carrier has an oil seal right there, and there's a little spring that goes around the black part. Figure out what that does one day, but that's what makes it expensive, I guess. Anyway, it wasn't even on there anymore. Like, it was totally in a different position, and so it needed to be done. So this thing needed to be resealed on account of likely age as well as the fishing line. So this is what you see when you pop your propeller off. All right, and there's your nut, your nuts. So this was looking that way. So to get it off, you have to use a puller. So it was on there like that, just like this. So you got your two bolts that go in. So you back those out, and nothing happens. Okay, it's stuck. What do I do? So fortunately on this one, I was able to just twist it maybe a ½ inch, and it didn't take a lot of force, just gentle persuasion. So from there, just use a simple puller, and this one is just an 8-inch German type. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Two claw bearing puller, and it has a lot of different ways you can position it, which is cool. So all I did with this was just grabbed these flanges, if you will, and then just use the prop shaft as an anchor, something like that. And then it's got like a little C-clamp type thing where you can put a socket on it. And I just hand turned it, and it instantly just started pulling out. And after about, I don't know, maybe 10 twists, it just pop, so out it came. So it didn't put up a fight at all, so it wanted to come loose. Now, I soaked that overnight back to the cleaners, just in Dawn dish soap, because it was disgusting, like bad. So from there, looking inside, you can see those roller bearings, race bearings, bearing races. I don't know what they're formally called. So then it hit me. I was like, bearing carrier. Oh, okay. So this carries the bearings. So this carries the bearings for prop shaft. Whee! Spins. So that's what helps the prop shaft spin. It's not neutral. If it was neutral, it'd be spinny. So that makes sense. And that also explains why on so many prop shafts over the years, I've seen kind of like just little marks where it looks like something's been rotating with it. And that explains that. So then, on the back of the bearing carrier bearing, whatever you want to call it, is one of your gears. And it just sits. So it just came right out. And I've seen many of these gears in various locations. So we'll give it a little spin there. There we go. No noises, no nothing. Yeah, so that's pretty clean. So the part number on that, for anyone who's interested, is 335-379-1. Put a 0 in front of it. And that'll be the part number for the 9915 from 74 to, I don't know, 92, I think. Give or take. Anyways, yeah, so, and it always helps to have a parts a spare one around, so you can just kind of compare the different components, and maybe if you lose track of what went where, it's always a good indicator of that as well. Second thing, how to test for bad seals. This one I knew the seals were bad, so didn't waste my time. Now this one, I gave it a new impeller kit back a few months ago when I was doing another one. So I know the impeller's good. Obviously it needs paint. I might even be able to just strip down this really terrible green recoat and maybe the white underneath, which looks comparable. We'll polish up, but another video. So what you do to test for seal leaks is pressure test. And that sounds difficult, it's not. What you do, very simple, you got the lower off, you're on the bench or something doing an impeller. So I don't know if you have to do, yeah, you probably have to have the impeller housing on. So just do it before you do the impeller. So all you have to do is drain the gear oil. Get the gear oil out of there. And then put your one of your bolts back in. I just used the top bolt on this one. And all this is just some like $4 Amazon vacuum pump thing for, I don't know, a bicycle. And from there, I just use the same kind of hose that you would use as a gear lube filler. So yeah, so just borrow that one off your gear lube filler if you don't have anything around to make a new one. And then just make sure the end's clamped, because you are putting a little bit of pressure into it. Now, this is held 10 PSI pressure for probably an hour. That tells me everything's fine. And by everything, I just mean the seals. So the gear oil is going to stay where the gear oil is supposed to be, and the water is going to stay in the lake. So that's good. So if you have milky looking gear oil, chances are your seals are bad. So to test, drain the gear oil, stick in one of these puppies, and just pump her up. So, I mean, I see these vacuum pumps for insane amounts of money, and a buddy of mine just said, oh, just make one. And told me how, and sure enough, it works. So yeah, nice and easy. So what I'm going to do next is fill this with fresh gear oil. I'm going to tidy up this prop a little bit. I think this seal's okay. I'll do some preliminary looky around. Obviously I can get rid of that fishing line now. And there's a couple little puffies on it, so I'll knock that down with the bench grinder and then rattle can it up. 9.5 by 10. So yeah, let's see what we got. And I'll compare it to another prop, probably off my Minty, just to, it's just good to compare, especially when you know that one of them's good. So yeah, I think that about covers it. So I'll keep cleaning and working here on my Johnny Root 15, and I'll do another video when it's done and running in the tank. So thanks for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day.